What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, guys? It's Marcus, MTZMarcus, Ticker Talks on a Sunday, 11:57. Sorry, 11:07 p.m. I am, pretty excited. The market actually did what we thought it was going to do. If you look at what my previous video that I posted mid last week, saying, "Hey, I'm waving the sign of caution." Yeah, I think it did everything um I expected it to do. Now it did fall a lot more than I did think it was gonna thought it was gonna fall, but anytime you make all-time highs like that, I think there was just a healthy drop to potentially go higher. So, we're watching. I'm watching the futures on Sunday night here at 11 o'clock. Looks like it's pushing a little higher than the close that we had on Friday. It tends to do that at times. You'd think some of the war related news with in relation to, I believe, uh the situation there, I think it's escalating again or about to escalate, but either way, I mean, I believe that there's something going on to where we had a huge push down on Friday, and I'm here for it. I mean, listen, your 401k stocks might be hit a little bit, or your long-term stocks might be hit a little bit, but as we know, the market that does go down oftentimes will come back up. So it's just one of those things you can't, long term wise, if you have money in the account to buy the dips, continue to buy the dips and just let it ride for the next 5, 10, 15 years. If you're a trader that's looking to build a smaller account, you got to be careful with these dips, right? Like, you can't just automatically think things will go higher instantly. Now, do I think the market will go higher again this year? Yes. Do I think there's going to be some volatility up and down? Yes. So just be careful. I'm gonna try something new. I'm starting a pretty small account, right around $350, to see where we can go from there. I'm interested in seeing my trading strategy with a very small account. But yeah, I am just really looking forward to, focusing. I think the other thing was in my again, I say this. I'm a new trader, and I'm going to set this disclaimer here today that I am not giving financial advice. This is me just documenting my charting sessions, documenting for newbies or for folks that are not sure what they're looking at when it comes to the stock market. As I am a relatively new trader as well, so I can't even say that I'm fully profitable yet, but I am on my way to profitability. I have done pretty well this year overall, taking my lumps and bruises here and there, but we continue on this track to make this our full-time gig instead of working full-time. So, that's my goal. At the end of the year, at the end of the, whatever time frame it takes me to get to that point, to where I can replace my trading income with my regular 9 to 5. That's the goal for me. So, this week it's going to be a slightly different week. I'm just going to focus on two tickers. I'm going to focus on SPY. I'm going to focus on QQQ, and kind of see what's going on there. So I like to look at the indexes ES and NQ to see, and that's the S&P 500 futures and the Nasdaq futures. Um, I look at these as uh, helping tools for me to trade SPY and QQQ. As you know, it tends to follow somewhat, not exactly to the T, but it does tend to follow those indexes. So when I look at ES, obviously it's taken a huge hit on Friday. These last two candles, these white candles here, are red candles that are going down. Really, really big displacement to the downside. Um, we're going to see a bit of a retracement, I believe. I would imagine SPY or ES goes up into, maybe back into the 7,500 range, maybe 7,400 range, before coming back lower. Is what I think. Now, it doesn't have to come back lower. It's just very strong. It didn't even take out this previous low here back in on February 19th, 18th range. So, I think it could take that down and come back into the 7,300 range. I don't know though. I'm just kind of play with what I see, kind of play how I see charts and see if it works to my benefit. But I wanted to come back to these two lines here. One is I'm gonna tell you right now because sometimes I forget what it is. 9 EMA and a 50 EMA. Um, and those are the moving averages. And then this line up here, I believe is hold on a second. Uh, this is it's not showing me that. This one is trying to get you the exact text color. It's not giving me. That's got to be my 9. Yeah, that's the 50 MA. So as it comes back into this, oh no, that's not the 50 MA. Two. Yep, it shows the 50 SMA. So I don't know. I like to really trade off the bounce here. So one cool trading strategy is let it fall. So on the 195 chart, obviously it's broken the uptrend a bit. So it went up, made a lower high, and then came back down, made lower lows. Kind of looking for it to do the same. I have a couple trend lines set up for this area here. It could come back all the way into 75.36. I don't know that it will. I like it to hit these two moving averages in between 74.52 and 74.85, and then retrace lower. So I'm gonna probably play both ways. I'm gonna probably play the upside if I see some strength tomorrow. But as soon as it gets to these two levels, I'm gonna be trying to take it back down. Who knows if that'll work? I think it will. Just kind of playing it cautiously. If I look at SPY, the actual SPY ticker, you can tell like so that number for me is like 7. I wouldn't mind it getting up to 742, 743, maybe even 745, and then break back lower. It could come up to the 750 range and break back lower. So I'm thinking we're going to gap up tomorrow based on what we're seeing now in the market. However, I don't know. So when we wake up tomorrow, we'll do a quick analysis on where we are as market opens, and then kind of go from there. But looking at SPY, it looks really. It doesn't look bearish yet because it's still holding this uptrend. Now, if it gets here under here, which is 70.31, then we'll look to take it down a little bit. Uh, you'll know. I think we'll have some signals up in the 750s if it wants to come back down and go lower. So it's one of those markets that's going to be pretty volatile with the news and things that are going on. But it's going to be, I think quite fun. I think this is the type of movement. Is this type of movement is necessary for a healthy market. Now, this was very aggressive. I was hoping it's going to staircase down like back here in May and then take back up. But because its aggression was so strong, I believe if we do come back up into the in between 745 and 750 range for SPY, then it will have a slight reaction to go back to the other side. And you can see I drew my fibs. The 0.618 is about 750. The 0.05 is about 747. So in between that range is where I'm looking to see what the candles are doing on the, 115-minute, 65-minute time frame, and maybe even the 195. But um, some of my long-term stuff are down. Obviously, not really worried about that as much because I think the stocks that I've picked long term wise are good holds for the next year or two. So that's where I am with it. I'm in SoFi, I'm in Al, I'm in Joby, SMCI, path, run, and SMR at the moment. Um, and I don't look to do anything while they're this red. I mean, a lot of the stocks, I had Joby down 14% and SMCI down 11%. Although I did take off a bunch of SMCI at the highs in the 60, in the 50, 51, 50 range. So I made a good decent money on amount of money on some of those stocks that I held. I think I had 100 shares and I sold 75 and I bought 30 more at some point. So I'm sitting at 45 shares of that. Excuse me, but it's just, it's one of those markets where we just got to be patient. And then do something different. Usually I trade a bunch of tickers. Sometimes they go against me, sometimes they don't. What I want to focus on this week is really focusing on one ticker. And I think the ticker is going to be SPY uh, or QQQ, but we're going to look at both. They're going to run somewhat together, and kind of see if there's any SMTs, in in that price action. But um, again, it's one of those don't freak out moments, right? Like, I still have tickers on my watch list that I'm going to be looking at into this week or into next week, depending on if the market decides to go higher, because they're at a really good buy range right now. Another another video that I made last week was Walmart. I mentioned to you guys if the market goes down, Walmart had the possibility of going up, and I was absolutely right and got cooked on this one because I thought the market was going to rebound a little bit on Friday. Right? I knew that. I said I knew, but I figured, going back to its track record, when the market dips a bit, this stock really decides to thrive. So it's been down, probably oversold over the last week or so, due to earnings. A huge gap down, but I think it wanted to make a slight recovery going into Friday, or really earlier last week. You see this huge aggressive push on 6-3, and then another nice push on Friday. It did sell off quite a bit. It was up over $3 on Friday. Then it came back down. And if you're looking at the daily chart, it does not look good. Although it closed green, it closed on a super huge shooter candle, which is just looks bearish. It looks like it wants to come back down and take these lows at 112. I'm not touching it at the moment, but that's what it looks like. I mean, it just looks like it wants to fill this gap here because that's a huge gap. You got it opened here, it gapped up from 116 to 120, a $4 gap up, and then held that gap, which is kind of important. If it's gonna go up any higher, it's gonna hold this gap in between, um, you know, 116 and I guess the gap is 118. If it goes and closes the gap, then I'm looking to take it back down to 112. But again, not really looking at that ticker this week. Might be a good ticker to trade down if the market decides to push. I'm gonna hold tight with looking at SPY and QQQ. I think there's some good volatility going to happen this week that will get us to where we need to go. But listen, this is another short video. I didn't want to go over too many tickers today, just looking at focusing on SPY and QQQ. I'm going to take probably 0-day contracts or 1 day to expiration contracts to build a small account. I'm going to be very precise about it. Get in, get out 30-40%. If I'm able to buy multiple contracts, I'm going to buy multiple contracts and leave one or two as runners. That's how you grow small accounts, in my opinion. But yeah, I think this is pretty straightforward. Market took a huge hit on Friday. I'm looking to see where it goes, guys. I just would love to, first of all, thanks for all the love already so far. But I would also love for you guys to like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, do all the things that will get my channel a little bit more exposure. But also, I think for me, it's really asking certain questions that you guys don't have the answer to or want to know the answer to, so I can either do the research and get you guys the answer, and or give you the answer from how I know it. I'm doing this to become a better trader at the end of the day, to look at things in more detail. And your questions really absolutely do help me get to the educational portion of it. I'm looking to also start a channel, or at least a series that allows me to show trading stock and the stock market to kids and younger people, so they start to understand how business works and how the stock market and finance works. So if you guys have any questions, if you have young kids, if you have anything, any ideas that you want me to go over, please just drop it in the comments, send me a DM, do what you got to do when it comes to that. I have my um my ex screen name or handle is at MTZMarcus underscore. At MTZMarcus underscore. That should be my Instagram name as well. At MTZMarcus underscore. If you just type in MTZMarcus in any one of the socials, you'll see it come up. But I would love for you guys to like, follow, subscribe, share, and go ahead and follow me on other avenues and other social medias. But listen, I want to keep this thing short and simple. I'm at 15 minutes now. I appreciate you guys for hopping on. I appreciate you guys for liking, and also commenting for those that comment. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll talk on either Tuesday or Wednesday. I want to try to give you guys updates on how the small account's going, how the trades I took were going or are going after a couple days of trying to build the account. But anyways, have a wonderful night. God bless, and I hope you guys are doing well. Peace.